For over 6 decades, Smokey Robinson's voice defined an era. Smooth, soulful, and timeless, he wasn't just a singer. He was the soundtrack to love, loss, and life itself. From the tracks of My Tears to Tears of a Clown, Smokey's music captured the emotions millions felt but could never put into words. His lyrics made people fall in love, and his melodies gave hope to those who had lost it. But behind that soothing voice and ever-present smile lies a story of pain few have truly understood. At 85, Smokey Robinson's life is no longer filled with bright stages and thunderous applause. It's filled with reflection on mistakes, heartbreaks, and the cruel passage of time. Fans see the legend, the Hall of Famer, the man who helped shape Motown's golden age. But those close to Smokey know the truth. He has lived through addiction, loss, health scares, and loneliness that fame could never heal. He's watched lifelong friends, and even rivals, fade away one by one, leaving him among the last of his generation still standing. And now, as the years weigh heavier than ever, Smokey's story feels more tragic than triumphant. Reminder that even icons, even legends, must face the quiet heartbreak of time catching up. Today, we look deeper into the man behind the voice, Smokey Robinson's rise, his fall, and the bittersweet legacy he leaves behind at 85. Long before the world called him a legend, Smokey Robinson was just a boy from Detroit with a dream, and a voice so pure it could silence a room. Born in 1940, William Smokey Robinson grew up surrounded by rhythm, gospel in the church, blues in the streets, and doo-wop echoing from neighborhood corners. But even in a city buzzing with talent, Smokey stood out. He didn't just sing, he felt every note. His voice carried emotion so deep that it could make joy sound like sorrow and heartbreak sound beautiful. By the late 1950s, that voice caught the attention of another dreamer, Berry Gordy Jr. Together, they built what would become one of the most influential music empires in history, Motown Records. Smokey wasn't just one of its stars, he was one of its architects. As the frontman of The Miracles, and as a songwriter and producer, Smokey penned some of Motown's most enduring hits. Songs like Shop Around, the tracks of My Tears, and My Girl, recorded by The Temptations. He became the heart and soul of a movement that redefined American music. His lyrics spoke of love, vulnerability, and resilience, emotions that transcended race and culture at a time when the nation was divided. To millions, Smokey Robinson was more than an entertainer. He was a poet of the people. But behind the polished performances and the charming smile, the pressures of fame began to take their toll. Years of touring, producing, and writing for others drained him. By the late 1970s, Smokey's light began to flicker. The man who gave love songs to the world started losing his own sense of purpose. As Motown shifted, and the industry he helped build changed forever, Smokey Robinson found himself standing at a crossroads, torn between his legacy and his longing for peace. The golden boy of Motown was about to face battles that no song could heal. Even legends are not immune to life's harsh realities. For Smokey Robinson, the glory of Motown came with a heavy price. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, the pressures of fame, the relentless touring schedule, and the burden of carrying Motown's success on his shoulders began to weigh heavily on him. The voice that had once charmed millions was now accompanied by sleepless nights, constant travel, and the stress of maintaining an empire in the ever-changing music industry. Behind the scenes, Smokey faced personal battles that few fans knew about. Years of constant work and living in the public eye took a toll on his mental health. He struggled with depression, the loneliness of life on the road, and the loss of friends who had shaped his world. Even with his immense talent, he found himself questioning his path and wondering if the sacrifices he had made were worth it. His marriage, too, faced strain. The man who sang about love and devotion was confronted with the fragility of relationships. Maintaining personal connections while constantly being in the spotlight proved nearly impossible. The woman he loved, The family he cherished and the home he longed for often felt like distant dreams as he navigated the demands of his career. But Smokey Robinson was not a man to surrender easily. He began to reclaim control, step by step, focusing on his health, reconnecting with loved ones, and reflecting deeply on the meaning of life beyond fame. He found solace in faith, in quiet, moments away from the stage, and in the understanding that legacy is not just built in applause, but in the hearts of those touched by your art. This period of reflection and struggle shaped the man he is today. The trials he endured became lessons in humility and resilience, teaching him that even the brightest stars can feel the darkness of isolation and heartbreak. Through it all, his music continued to inspire, not just as entertainment, but as a testament to survival, love, and the human spirit. Now, at 85, Smokey Robinson faces a different kind of struggle, one that is quiet, personal, and deeply emotional. While his fans celebrate the songs that immortalized his name, his family witnesses the toll of time on the man whose voice once conquered the world. The tragedy is not in the loss of fame or fortune, but in the fragility of a life that has given so much joy to others. Time is relentless, even for legends. For Smokey Robinson, reaching 85 has been a triumph, but it has not come without pain. The same hands that once held microphones with effortless grace now sometimes tremble with age. The mind that crafted lyrics of heartbreak and hope occasionally struggles to recall details of a life so rich and full. For a man whose career depended on precision, memory, and timing, these moments are profoundly challenging. Physically, age has begun to demand its toll. Tours are shorter, interviews less frequent, and performances carefully managed to conserve energy. But the emotional strain weighs just as heavily. Smokey has watched peers, friends, and collaborators, many who shared his journey from Motown's humble beginnings, pass away. Each loss is a reminder of mortality, and each day brings awareness that time, unlike music, cannot be controlled or paused. Despite this, Smokey continues to find purpose. Family, faith, and the enduring love of fans provide comfort and motivation. He spends more time reflecting on the legacy he has built. Not the awards, not the charts, not the fame, but the lives touched by his words and melodies. Children who learned about love through the tracks of my tears, couples who found solace in my girl, and generations who discovered Motown because of his vision. All are living proof that his work transcends time. Yet, behind the smiles and public appearances, there's a quiet heartbreak. Even legends feel the weight of memories fading, the reality of aging, and the inevitability of life's final chapters. Friends close to Smokey describe him as contemplative, sometimes melancholy, often reflective of choices made, opportunities lost, and the fleeting nature of life. In these moments, one sees the true man behind the legend. Not the icon, not the Motown star, but a human being confronting mortality, love, and the passage of decades. Smokey Robinson's tragedy at 85 is not simply about age. It is about the emotional depth of a life fully lived, the sacrifices made for art, and the understanding that even brilliance cannot shield one from life's relentless progression. And yet, amidst the heartbreak, there is grace. Smokey's story is a testament to endurance, a reminder that even when life exacts its toll, the impact of love, creativity, and resilience endures far beyond the years. At 85, Smokey Robinson's life is a blend of triumph and quiet sorrow. He is a man whose voice shaped a generation, whose lyrics gave expression to the deepest emotions, and whose artistry transcended the limits of time. Yet the years have reminded him, and those who love him, that even legends are human, subject to the fragility and heartbreak that accompany the passing of time. In recent years, his family has witnessed both the glory and the weight of his life. The same man who poured his soul into music now experiences the limitations of age, slower movements, less stamina, and moments when his mind wanders through memories of decades past. But the love surrounding him has never wavered. Children, grandchildren, and devoted family members remain by his side, offering care, companionship, and support through the quieter days that fame no longer fills. Despite the physical and emotional toll, Smokey Robinson's legacy is untouchable. His songs continue to play worldwide, inspiring new generations of musicians and listeners alike. Artists cover his music, sample his melodies, and study his songwriting as a model of excellence. Yet for Smokey, true legacy isn't in charts or awards. It's in the lives he's touched, the emotions he's conveyed, and the joy and comfort he's brought to countless fans. The tragedy, some say, lies not in what he has lost, but in the silent moments when the world stops and the applause fades. It is in the awareness that time is finite, that friends are gone, and that even a life as rich as his must confront the passage of years. Yet even in sorrow there is dignity. Smokey continues to embrace life with gratitude, savoring family dinners, quiet conversations, and the simple pleasures that fame often obscured. For fans and loved ones, the heartbreak is tempered by pride. They see a man who survived trials unimaginable, who reinvented himself time and again, and who continues to share his heart through music and example. His story is a reminder that greatness is not only in talent but in endurance, humility, and love, the qualities that have defined Smokey Robinson, both on and off stage. As he reflects on decades of achievement, loss and love, one truth becomes clear: Smokey Robinson's legacy is eternal. Though time may age his body and test his spirit, the songs, the stories, and the lives he touched will echo forever. The tragedy of his later years is intertwined with the beauty of a life fully lived, a life that continues to inspire, comfort, and captivate the world, long after the final notes have faded.